Open fire! Make sure your treasure is buried, your parrot fed, and the rum is poured. It's time to set sail on another Patches and Rum podcast, exclusively for members of the History of Pirates channel.
Welcome again.
Yeah,
we have a almost dead battling scurvy and probably syphilis and probably ate too many worms in his food.
I returned from the land of the Holy Roman Empire with a sickness indeed.
His birthday again.
Yeah, man, watching that trailer. Every time I see it, I get so pumped. It feels like what do you call it? Like self-righteous, but I get so pumped when I see that.
It's a good trailer. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
But, I'm not surprised by it, but that was a nice little surprise.
She's surprised.
Once we actually have something to put out, it'll be awesome. We can actually it'll be more than text and a black screen.
What's with that face, Jay? What do you mean? Stinky face. That's how it is. We also have our Sea Hag Queen.
Hi.
With Peter Pan in the back.
Yeah, he's got my back. Make sure you guys stay in line.
And we are also live somehow
on Facebook.
Facebook.
I've seen him coming in the chat.
What's up, Facebook? Yeah, look at that. That's on Facebook. It says Hail X-Wing.
What's up, brother?
I'll try not to highlight Facebook messages because I think people don't use their YouTube name over there.
Yeah,
obviously.
Can you imagine?
And we also are live on Rumble. I see Sissy over there. Man, this podcast is just
take it easy. Take it slow.
Thriving.
There we go.
I was looking for a pirate name. I don't know.
Walking in.
Experience starting us off, baby.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
I made that too. Jay, what do you do around here?
I do this. Ron Cook for 5, baby!
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Lulu Blue over on Facebook, who is a subscriber. Look at that badge next to her name.
Lulu.
I think that's what that means, right?
Hi,
Lulu over on Facebook. Matthew says hi, Wicked Virtue.
Hello.
We got get to work emojis in there already with 10 crew members for tonight.
It's not enough.
I think we need like 100. Greetings be matey, still swabbing.
Swab.
Yeah, get up near the head. Someone left a dingleberry for you. Officer on deck. Hail to the salty crew, says Steiner Matt. No.
Oh, man. He's probably healthy. I'm not healthy.
He's probably
talking about you. You're the officer on deck. They were like,
oh, yeah. Commodore.
That's how it is. And the lieutenant. Well, today we have a special, Lulu says major lurking tonight. No problem, Lulu. You've been very busy. So, but let's do a little business before. I got some trinkets and stuff for everybody. So if you are a subscriber on the Facebook page, you get one of these automatic. So you get a special History of Pirates coin. This is just the link tree on the back, but it's not plastic. It's heavy. It's like
That's
a real
metal.
Yeah.
What?
Not
That's
plastic.
cool.
I don't know what to tap it on to make it seem like it's not plastic at all.
Yeah, there you go. Just bite it.
Yeah. So you're gonna get one of these nice and heavy coin. So now,
awesome.
if you are a member on YouTube, all right. Look at that. Someone's like, "Wow, YouTube is chopped liver." No. If you're a member on YouTube, we're gonna have a drawing, right? Because you can't gift memberships on Facebook. It's like we want to be here. Now I know there's some of you that are members here that want to be here and stuff, but there's also some people that are like, I got a freebie and I want to get something, but I got a lot of these to go around. So there's gonna be a lot of it's not gonna be like one. There's gonna be a few. So there's a lot of these to go around. So look for the member video message coming up soon. They'll come into a nice little package like this, like nice and plastic, nice and I haven't touched them with my stinky fingers, And also I had a few people give me some of these. These are really neat too. These are Velcro patches.
Oh, nice.
That have the history of pirates, and I've got like 3 or 4 different versions of them.
How do you do this stuff so quick? I feel like you texted me a week ago. You're like, "Hey, I got this idea. I think it'd be really cool," and now you have them in your hand.
You did ask me what I did around here.
There you go.
I make stuff happen. I make stuff happen out of the blue.
I can't believe those are metal, though.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And now that I got them in my hand, I'm like, okay, when I need more, we're gonna get more. But it's such a cool calling card. Yeah, there you go. You can hear him clank.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what that'd be good for is a good challenge coin too. If you're going through something, keep one of those.
Well, it was neat because I had some in Philly, and I gave them out to like people that recognized me, and they were like, "Cool, man, those are cool."
Yeah, that's cool. You never get metal stuff anymore. You know what I mean?
Not for like a business card, right?
Yeah,
like
you never get anything metal.
So that's the kind of thing that people won't throw away. Well, hopefully.
But
with 9line Apparel coming up with the book, the new travel bag is going to have places for Velcro patches. So we're also going to send out a bunch of these. Hey, if you want them. If not, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, boy.
Wicked Steel says, "Let's go hail all the crew."
Hey,
and Gregory for $2 yard. Drink up, me hearties. Yo ho!
You have to say it right. Drink up, me hearties. Yo ho!
There it is. Coffee.
I should not be having wine right now.
Having water.
Probably the smart thing.
I was thinking it might sanitize my insides.
And look at this guy right here. Look, everybody's almost green in the chat. You should be grateful to the people that were dropping out because you have an opportunity to win. And, I always throw in some other stuff too. I always throw in some other freebie stuff too. So get ready, if you win. Spirian for 5, Ron for 5, and Chew Buccaneer for 20.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
That's such a ridiculously dope profile pic. Like, how do you even make that?
I don't know.
What do you type into AI? Like pirate Chewbacca with a stormtrooper skull and bones?
Would Chewbacca be like a good pirate? Well, he technically was, wasn't he?
He is, yeah. I mean, he's a smuggler at the very least,
What a bowcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I like it. I'd like to think in pirate times he would just have a huge crossbow, but the bolts would be like this big. So if you got shot with it, it'd just put a hole in you. You know what I mean?
Risky for the Biscuit says, "I'm hooked on this pirate life." Yo, I see you over there on Facebook. I see you, David, Alan. Thank y'all for joining us over there. And Clyde, I got your email, Clyde. It was awesome, dude. So I didn't respond, but holy crap, that's now 20, 30, 35 more souls. It's a little light. It's a little light, but we'll take it.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
I only need 100 souls. What do you mean it's too late? We got a long show.
That's true. That is true. I see so many of y'all in the chat. Thank y'all for being here, hanging out. And I see Dylan. Congratulations, Dylan. He graduated college.
Congrats, brother.
Pirates be rocking the boat tonight.
Yes, sir.
Not only that, we have another 10 souls for the crew.
Oh, Clinton.
What kind of work are you gonna put? Like the CIA Queen is gonna assign you a duty.
Duty.
What would you assign them to do? These 10 souls.
These 10 souls. They gotta clean the bathroom. It
What?
needs
No,
him.
we already got head scrubbers.
That's the head, man.
Yeah.
It's a head.
I'm thinking barnacle scrubbers.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
You hang them off the
There's a lot
side of the boat.
barnacles. Bring them back up every like 30 seconds
Scraping
for
it.
air.
Yeah, just scraping.
All right, barnacle scrubber duty.
I like it.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
GJJ renews his membership. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And Gregory says Bowcaster's more like Space Blunderbuss than Bow.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Big old blunderbuss then.
Could be.
Which we're gonna shoot. Hopefully sooner rather
if you
than
quit, Mr. Q, we're gonna
Walk
maroon
the
you on
plank.
an island. That's for sure.
There's
Yeah.
only two ways out of this crew, brother.
Yeah. Stephen Brown, who is getting a daughter's revenge tattoo, says, I'm getting tattooed on Father's Day. Arr. Well, I got it. I need
can't wait.
plenty of pictures for that, man.
Mine's going right on my butt cheek.
So that's gonna be sick. Thank you, man.
Don't
That's
get too
gonna be
excited. Calm down.
Yeah.
You're sick.
Wicked's getting it on her neck.
Yeah,
I was thinking forehead wicked. I think that'd be good.
it would be hot.
Yeah.
Maybe the cheek.
Yeah.
On her forehead. Mr. Zeeb says, Jay, thanks for the pirate hat. Been getting compliments. That's why I'm here. To get y'all compliments. It's in the pinned comment. That's right. The pirate merch is back. I was kind of surprised by this, but if you want one of those, there you go. All right. I think we did it. We took care of enough shop. Now on to the show.
Oh, baby.
Today we are talking
Charles
about
Vane.
the dreadful, one of the most vicious real life pirates in the Golden Age. You might have also seen him in the show Black Sails.
And the game.
He was
Flag.
also he was in the game as well, wasn't it? Was he in the game? Was Charles
He was,
Vane
right?
in Assassin's Creed game?
Black Flag?
Or was he in a different pirate game? I know.
Yeah, I don't
he was in
remember
one,
him
wasn't
in.
he?
I don't think he was.
I don't remember
in,
him in Black Flag or Black
Maybe
Sails.
the chat will know.
Black Flag.
He was
There's
in
some-
Black Sails.
Yes.
I don't think he
That's
was
for
in.
sure.
I
Wasn't
could
he
be
in
wrong.
a pirate game though. I thought he was in one.
I could be wrong about Black Flag, but I don't remember him in Black Flag. Then again, there were so many of those like infamous Golden Age piracy people that they put in Black Flag.
Soul Assassin said one of the side characters. You mean in
In
Black Flag? I didn't play Black Flag. I will. I'll do it
Dude.
on stream.
Yeah, you need to get that on your channel like ASAP.
People like to see that.
Like
I got
ASAP.
it. All right.
ASAP Rocky.
Charles Vane was he wasn't a nice person. Go
No,
figure.
He was known as one of the. I don't know. He was known as one of the cruelest pirates. He used to do keel hauling. He didn't give his crew their fair share. I mean, it's a little shady. He's still cool. He's still cool. He was a pirate. But I'm just saying.
Well, so
allegedly, he did that stuff. Okay.
what we have is his early life. Charles Vane wasn't there. There wasn't much known about who he was early on, but it appears that he, in some records, in one of these books, some records, he of course was part of the British Navy, which most of these pirates were, and apparently he got kicked out of just for being like the way he was. Like people were like, he didn't follow orders well. He was very harsh on his fellow crewmates. He just didn't follow orders well. He liked to torture and punish people. He loved to do like terrible things to like prisoners, things like that.
I have a theory on this. And this is supported with some possible evidence, was that Charles Vane was actually the bastard son of nobility from France, because Vane was a noble name in France in the 1600s. And there was I have to look at the name again. Sir Henry Vane the Younger, who was a Puritan
Mm.
aristocrat in the 1660s, got his head cut off, right? Because that's what the French did when they were upset with the nobles. But yeah, so there was some speculation that he might have actually been French nobility. He was the bastard son of a French noble, which may have given some credence to why he acted the way he did. Like he wanted the authority that he felt like he was entitled to, which could describe some characteristics of him.
The only real, like, I guess, technically picture that we have of Charles Vane is right there. And it's kind of like an interpretation. So we got the powdered wig. See, it doesn't, when you see this picture, it doesn't look
scream
like
savage, does it?
It's like he's got high heels on. He's got the pantyhose, the powdered wig. He's got 2 guns there, I believe. And just, this the clothes that he's wearing.
Looks like a bit of a posh, doesn't he?
He's holding the sword all wrong and everything. So, so that's like one of the most updated picture. The updated picture, like this is the picture that they use in some of the books and stuff like that. Obviously, they weren't around taking selfies, or things like that. But in today's, so if we find in today's version of Charles Vane, it was from Black Sales, and that's like
more masculine, and
it's kind of the same. Yeah. So let me pull up that picture.
That's like the one thing I started realizing when I was watching Black Sails. I'm only through 4 episodes at this point, but I was like, there's no way these dudes look like this. There's just no shot.
Why is that?
They're like, it's like,
they look way too healthy.
No, well, first off, yeah, they have perfect teeth. They're like perfectly groomed for like a GQ magazine shoot, and then also they're wearing so here's a really good example. What is he wearing on his right arm? That's an archery brace. Like, why are you wearing that? Because leather. I'm also wearing this garter belt to hide my.
It's a sword brace too.
Yeah.
The archery was one of the weapons, man. Bows and arrows.
Dude, no shot. He's also right-handed, so it's on the wrong hand, the wrong arm. But, maybe Charles Vane was left-handed. I don't know. I could be wrong.
So what's this? That's a belt for a holster?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I saw my brother's wife wearing one of those the other day walking around in Italy because it was cute. I'm like, this just doesn't seem... I don't know. And why the scarf? Just in case it gets chilly on a cold Caribbean night. If it gets chilly, he can wrap his scarf around his neck. Like,
am I hinting a tad of jealousy?
I'm extremely jealous. If I'm being honest. I wish I could just wear that every day.
I'll let you borrow one of my corsets.
That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Just to dress like that.
It's very,
especially in the Caribbean where it's like 1,000,000+ degrees. So, maybe
leather close to the skin, never a good idea. That's
well, this is
ringworm.
This was like the crew of like Black. Oops, let me see. Here we go. Hey, this was like the crew. So this was Charles Vane, Calico Jack.
Yeah,
with the red sash, and Anne Bonny.
Look at how practical those outfits are. They're just so practical.
Well, they found a guy that's ripped because they definitely wanted his shirt off all the time for the show.
Conan walking around.
So, and he's got two braces on.
If you've ever been in the Caribbean, wearing leather pants is just never a good idea.
What do you mean?
I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just saying.
It's a rugged thing.
Linen is the play. The guy on the left is probably closest to what I would say is
Calico Jack. That's Jack Rackham right there.
Probably closest to what I would expect.
Got the dual swords, got the little belt, the utility belt there. The swords are on this little stash here, I'm assuming. And then they have
you can see them.
But they always have their hands wrapped because I guess they're all cut up. I don't know.
Loving the scarf choices. Just...
There is a few. I think those are sweat rags, right? Isn't that what they always wore?
Probably.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It'd be on my head if I was there. And I wouldn't have gelled my hair up as Jack Rackham, but what are you going to do?
Why are you getting Calico Jack such a hard time?
Because he was a jerk.
Calico Jack?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's another time. That's another story for another time.
No, that comes up later.
It does come up a little bit. So
Just
anyway,
little.
when just like any normal pirate that was in the British Navy, just to recap, England was at war with Spain. And what they did was which was very smart on their account, was they sent out a letter of marque, which means if you have a boat and a crew, you could go out and hunt the Spanish,
Yep.
sink their ships, steal whatever was on board, and you get to keep it. And nothing will happen to you. You basically were a criminal on the sea because they were at war. So Charles Vane was probably was part of that. Then the war ended, and England was like, hey, man, England's broke. Spain is broke. We don't want no more fighting. Like, let's just try to rebuild what we have. And then you had thousands of people out of work because they were privateers, not knowing what to do. So what do? They decided to become a pirate. They already had the crew. They already had the boats. They were ready to go. And I'll let you talk, but it seems Charles Vane early on joined the English pirate Henry Jennings.
Yeah.
He was based out of Jamaica.
Yeah, so that's a really important thing. So in 1715, he hooks up with Jennings to join his little privateer armada. That's basically what they had set up. It was a bunch of different ships. They were going to be privateers. They go down to Florida, which we've talked about on these podcasts extensively, to go find that gold that was kind of shoreline from the Spanish Armada. They dumped a bunch of gold, very shallow. So pirates thought they could go there, but it was illegal, right? The British said, you can't do that. And so Henry Jennings becomes immediately an outlaw to the British Empire. And this kind of flicks Vane's idea of screw the government. That stuff sunk to the bottom of the ocean. It's free. Finders keepers. Let's go, man.
Yeah, that was actually one of the key moments that probably triggered the golden age of piracy. Was the treasure fleet of Spain that wrecked, dumping, I guess by today's value, $1 billion. It was easily, maybe more.
Yeah.
And so,
so they go down to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying it's interesting because when they went out, when publications, when the newspapers were like, hey, there was a wreck, $1 billion was dumped in the ocean, but hey, don't touch it. It's the Spanish. They're going to clean it up. They thought that was going to keep people from doing it. And it just triggered more. That's what triggered Sam Bellamy and others to be like, oh, well, that's where I'm going.
Yep.
So,
So this all happens. They go down. Jennings is, now considered an outlaw. And so what does he do? He goes and basically founds a new colony for pirates on New Providence. New Providence is basically this new hub of a loose confederation of now no longer privateers, but basically pirates. Vane loved it. He was like, I get to get drunk every day. I'm eating fresh fruit. I'm eating pork whenever I want. When I run out of money, I just go out, I steal some more, and then I come back and I get drunk and I have pork and fresh meat, like anything I want, right? So he's living large in New Providence at this point until 1717 when something really bad happens.
Anything to add? Sea Hag Queen?
No, not really. Kind of, I feel like we might have jumped a little bit ahead, but that's okay.
2 years. That was a big jump when I put until 1717.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna add about all the sloops. It's kind of the cool thing about Charles Vane. I know, obviously, pirates did this a lot, but he captured a lot of ships, and he wasn't really a pirate for he didn't go for that long. It was only 4 years, right? So that's not if you compare that to Blackbeard or some of the others that went for 10 years or longer. It's kind of crazy to think of what he might have done if he never stopped after 4 years. His first crew was 25 people, right? And the first vessel they captured was a sloop. right after he left Nassau, right?
It wasn't that big, right? But he just
yeah, it was
kept.
a sloop, and then after that, they went on to brigs, and sometimes he would let them go and just plunder them, which is, I guess, kind of nice considering he was supposed to be really mean. I don't know if he killed them, but
That's what I'm saying too. In a lot of those instances, he would actually capture a ship, and then he would, if he took crew on from that ship, he would give it back to them. He'd basically say, "When I get a better one, I'll give it back to you."
yeah,
So
Brazilian with $1 million for $1.
just
Thank you.
dance bun,
is that a half flask?
half fast.
I don't know why it's not showing up fully, but whatever.
But the other thing that's important to remember for the remainder of the story, this is going to be important too when it comes back up, is when they went down there to New Providence, they formed something called the Flying Gang. It's important because the Flying Gang had, when you hear about all these different names of pirates, the Flying Gang had a lot of those guys in it.
When did he meet up with Yeats? Was that in 1717?
With
or
who?
That's Yeats.
Yeats was after. Yeats was
after. Okay, so
closer
I'm
to
jumping more ahead.
1719.
So he's got.
Okay.
So basically, Charles Vane is like 2 years on the sea. He's with who I just said, Henry Jennings. Him and Benjamin Hornigold. If I said that correct, they were kind of like the two top dogs in Nassau. The kind of button heads for like supremacy, things like that. But the word started getting out about how vicious Charles Vane was, where he would cut off men's pee-pee and carve their eyes out, make them eat it. Like, it was just like, basically Jennings was like, "Hey, we need to question this guy. Hey, Charles Vane, I need some answers. I'll leave you be, and like, he would just do some of like horrific tortures, stuff like that. And so I guess the word was getting around, like, you don't want to be on this guy's bad side. So a lot of that stuff goes into play when they would come upon a ship and they're like, if that's Charles Vane's ship, let's just surrender, because I ain't getting my eyes cut out. I'm not getting my ears. They can have whatever they want, whatever. But it caught back up with him in May. So I got 1718, but it might be 1717 because it all depends on what history book you read. One of the crew members of the captured ship escaped to testify against Vane to the governor of Bermuda. He was part of the sloop called the Diamond. So the small sloop, the Diamond. Apparently, Vane's pirate crew attacked him in the Bahamas. And the reports were that he beat up the crew, looted it, set the ship on fire, hanged most of the pirates, had fun with them, hacked them with cutlasses for their amusement, set them on fire, cut off different appendages from the people, and dumped them overboard. And by some miraculous miracle, this one guy was found alive, and he testified against Charles Vane. So, I mean, dude, you want to talk about like the toughest guys in the world? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to be the bad guy here. Okay. I don't want to be the bad guy. But this is where I think I have to speak on Charles Vane's behalf. Because if you remember, and this is actually one line I really remembered from, I think it was like the third episode or something from Black Flag. The guy Flynn, he was talking about there's a war coming, and it's not the British versus the pirates and yada yada. They need a monster. They have to dehumanize us. They have to turn us into something we're not. I think that's what happened with Charles Vane, because he was, and this is why I love this man's story so much, he was at his core anti-government, right? He was the anarchist. He was the fight against the British. He was a Jacobite, like so many of those pirates at the time. He was part of the Flying Gang, which was heavily, heavily Jacobite. And what we skipped was in 1717, amnesty was offered, and half of the Flying Gang became pardonists. They all left him. They left him. They're like, screw this guy. And he stuck to his guns and he said, no shot, I'm taking a pardon. Right. Absolutely not. I'm a pirate, dude. We're doing this. And so I think what happens in those circumstances is that he takes a ship, something happens, blah, blah, blah. They get this guy in court and they go, you got to pan this dude and turn him into an absolute monster. Because if he goes in court and says, well, they took over the ship, We sailed for about 2 weeks, and then they gave us another ship, and then we parted ways. They'd be like, well, maybe Vane's not actually so bad.
I mean, it still would have, if he was a pirate, like you get the noose, man, no matter what, whether you didn't kill anyone or not.
It's true.
But speaking of the pardon, now according to a general history of pirates, when he was captured and he was on trial, before he was sentenced, he decided to take the pardon during what I just mentioned, during this. And even though there was another person to come and testify against Charles Vane, as he was a terrible, he was just a terrible person, did all kinds of torture, different things like this. But so he was smart enough to go, I'll take the king's pardon, which means he couldn't be prosecuted anymore. He had to be set free because he had a pardon from the king. Imagine you're at court, right? And the guy that killed all your friends, the guy that sunk your ship, the guy that set it on fire, the guy that cut you up, the guy that tried to hang you and did torture stuff to people that you knew, you barely survived. You go to court to see justice, and he goes, well, parlay or whatever they
hit
said.
The Uno reverse card on you.
And then it's like, well, shoot, if he takes the pardon under the king's pardon, like we have to forgive him of everything that he's done, and he's allowed to go free. So he took the pardon and was like, get out of jail free card,
Went right back to it.
Exactly. Obviously, he wasn't gonna stop.
Just it reminds me of Grace O'Malley. Remember that was her story, right? Where she took a pardon and then went right back to it. I was like, yeah, was it Grace or Anne? One of them. Sorry, but it just reminded me of that when I read it. So I wonder how much that happened back then. Like, okay, fine, I'll accept.
Oh man, Blackbeard took the pardon like 6 times because they offered it for like a year or 2 years. That you had to take. It's what they estimated people might have been out to sea, and so like they just kept taking it. Like, yeah, I'll take the pardon. All right, you're free to go. Just don't pirate no more. Sure.
5 minutes later.
The other person that testified at that trial was someone that was on the sloop, William and Martha. They also testified in front of the governor that he'd been attacked, beaten, robbed, his ship set on fire, and many of his men endured excruciating pains and torture. They dumped the remains of the dead sailors and the ones that were alive over on a small island, thinking that they would not be rescued. They were rescued, and then they came to testify.
So did you guys, in any of your encounters, run into the story of him and Captain Pierce and Nassau and the Phoenix?
Yes.
Okay. So this is why I have a hard time believing, he gets to court and everybody's, they're panning him. But the story of him and Captain Pierce, which is right in that 1718 to 1719 time period, I feel like is the perfect story to describe exactly who Charles Vane was as a pirate.
Do tell.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
I know you want to.
I know, I really want to. Okay, so 1717 amnesty's offered, right? Nassau basically becomes fractionated. You now have the pardonists and the pirates, basically. So the pardonists, half of the flying gang basically says, we want to take the pardon. I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to be a pirate anymore, blah, blah, blah. Vane says, screw that. I'm a pirate through and through. Now, the pardonists, what they do is they go to the fort. They take over the fort and they fly the Union Jack on the top of the fort. And they're like, hey, we're showing our support for King George. We are totally down for this new liberal movement. Let's do it. And Charles Vane is drunk in a bar and sees the Union Jack fly up on the Nassau fort and says, F that shenanigans. We're not doing it. So he charges the fort with a group of people, destroys the party, tears down the Union Jack, and then flies a black flag on Fort Nassau. Just completely takes it over, right? He's drunk, whatever. In the morning, he goes back home. All the way, they're like, you know what? We're not gonna screw with Charles Vane. Let's just leave it, whatever. So the British Navy shows up in Nassau thinking like, they're friends of King George. And they see a black flag over the fort of Nassau, and they're like, what the hell is going on here? And they show up on shore and they go, what's going on? I thought you guys took the pardon. I thought we were all good. And they go, everything is fine. Your problem is Charles Vane. You need to find Charles Vane and take him out. He is your problem, right? So Charles Vane is off somewhere. He's got a sloop. I think it was the Lark at the time in a bay, and he's refitting it. He's got, I think, 16 men at the time. They're refitting the ship, and Captain Pierce of the Phoenix blockades the harbor and opens fire on Charles Vane while he's refitting his ship. And Vane has 16 men and a ship that's not seaworthy. And he's like, shit. So he has to surrender. And so Captain Pierce is like, haha, in his powdered wig and his mallet. And he's stoked. He got Charles Vane. He's ended piracy for good. But Charles Vane wasn't going to let that shit fly. And so at night, he goes out in a rowboat, sneaks past the Phoenix, and gets to the far side of the island, grows his group to about 40 different men, and actually steals another sloop. If you'll give me just a moment here.
So, X-Wing really likes Charles Vane. You're getting that?
Oh, dude, honestly,
he's interesting.
While he's doing that, Johnny the Whiz Kid for 5. I love pirates since playing Donkey Kong Country. I remember reading a book about a whip pirates used called the Cat and Nine Tails. Why is it called that? Because it was a whip that had 9 lashes, and on the lashes they had like a piece of metal. So when they whipped you, it grabbed the back of your skin and ripped it down like a cat claw. So that's why it was called that. Good question, Johnny. Good to see you here, buddy.
So, are we at the point yet where him and Yates, however you pronounce his name, parted ways? Or...
This is where they meet.
Okay.
So this is what happens. So they get boxed in by the Phoenix. Charles Vane basically tells Captain Pierce, hey, you got me. I was actually just going to come talk to you about the pardon. I was just going to come talk to you about it. And Pierce is like, you're full of, absolutely not. he's not buying it at all. So that night they sneak away. He goes to the far side of the island, winds up taking a sloop, and just absolutely embarrasses Captain Pierce for the first time of many different times over the next probably 8 or 9 months. And just disappears. Fires a 1-gun salute. He's like, ha ha! He does a Captain Jack Sparrow and just absolutely disappears. Now, after that, he goes on a complete tear through the Bahamas. He gets like 6 or 7 different ships after that. And just to piss off Pierce, in Nassau, they have a very strange harbor where certain ships can dock in certain places. The Phoenix is a larger ship. It couldn't get to a certain area of Nassau. And so what does Charles Vane do? He parks that ship right where the Phoenix can't get to it, rises up a red flag, starts dancing, partying, getting drunk, and he's looking at Pierce like throwing up the middle finger, like, I'm here, come get me. And as night falls and they're all drunk and they fall asleep, Pierce, getting angry in his powdered wig, sends a small rowboat to try to sneak up on the pirates, catch him off guard. And as soon as they get within musket range, 9 pirates pop up off the side of the ship and just light up the guys that he sent off. I don't want to talk for like an hour, but it's a reoccurring
really
issue
cool.
of Pierce basically trying to get Vane at every single corner he can. And every single time he tries to do something, Vane either has him outsmarted or Pierce screws up and basically embarrasses the Royal Navy.
There's another great story of Charles Vane with Wood Rogers. Charles Vane has captured a large French frigate, and he has some other ships with him as well, and he has it parked in the Bahamas. Woods Rogers, who was the newly appointed governor of the Bahamas, was coming in there to try to let everybody know, this is like your last month to take the pardon. I'm here to clean up the pirates. So if you don't take it now, you're done. And I need to speak to Charles Vane because I hear he's the last guy like causing a lot of issues. Right? At this time, Charles Vane has his prize ship, the Ranger. That's the one that was in black sails, all that stuff. The Ranger was his baby, right? So he doesn't know how to get out because Woodes Rogers' fleet has blocked the areas where the ships could get out. So Charles Vane takes the French frigate near right before morning, sets it on fire, kind of like what we do in Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
And sends it out towards Woodes Rogers. When they see it, all the other ships panic and head towards it because they think they're about to fight. But it's an empty ship. And when the other ships move, Charles Vane just slips out scot-free.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. These stories, he doesn't get caught and off he goes. And at that point, I mean, there's some really cool stuff. Like we're going to get, oh my God, look who is in my chat. The Knights of Melvin. Holy
my
crap.
brother. Good to see you, man.
Gotta love that Melvin's here.
It was really incredible.
Taking a break from Star Wars, I see. Real quick, Cellular Dream for 10. Got my Rebellion Hat and War to work. The girl I'm crushing on asked me about it. I said it's from my favorite pirate podcast. She said, you listen to a pirate podcast and hasn't spoken to me all day. Well, probably because she thinks you're after her booty. All right. Sorry.
No, it's all good. No. So just to kind of end all of that. So Vane and Pierce are constantly kind of fighting back and forth in this Nassau harbor. Vane is just taunting him consistently. He goes out on a rowboat in front of the Phoenix, and captain's on deck of the Phoenix, Pierce, and is like, surrender. You have to surrender. And Vane is just rowing right in front of his broadsides in a rowboat. And they shoot at him and they shoot at him and they're not hitting him and they're not hitting him. He's just taunting him constantly. And so finally, under repair, the Phoenix with Captain Pierce, a carpenter accidentally sets the ship on fire. And so the Phoenix is burning in the harbor. They finally put it out. And Pierce is like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. This is clearly not working. We're leaving. He tries to leave and he runs the Phoenix aground in the Nassau harbor.
That sounds like us playing Sea of Thieves.
It's so bad. And so at this point, Pierce is like, he's got his pants down. He's been shamed by this guy. It's absolutely horrible. And now Vane has control of Nassau. He's like, you see what I do with the Empire? I can take an empire on. It's no problem. But he gets word that there's a large fleet coming with a true British governor. That true British governor happens to be Woodes Rogers.
Woodes Rogers, yeah.
Yeah, to come and basically take Nassau back, right? And so he meets up with Blackbeard on Nassau and says, hey, look, this is going to be our big show. We're going to tell the British Empire that we are here to stay. And basically Blackbeard says, Nassau's a lost cause. Like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. I'm out. And so he leaves. And so
he goes to South Carolina.
Yeah. And so Vane goes, fine, if he's not going to do it, I'll do it. So he leaves with his, this is actually one final insult to Pierce as he leaves. Pierce stole his original sloop. What was the name of the original sloop? It was a short one consonant, Slick or the Slate, whatever the name of the ship was. Pierce stole it and refitted it to be a merchant ship for the British and then sent it off on a mission. And as it was coming back from Nassau and Pierce was leaving in absolute shame, Vane stole his sloop back with all of the riches.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it had gone on its first merchant
isn't
trip
that what he renamed the Ranger?
No. It was the oh God, I have it written down. I have so many paragraphs here.
That's too bad.
I can't remember the name of it.
The Ranger was a brigantine that had 12 cannons and a crew of around 80 men.
The Lark. That was the sloop. The Lark.
The Lark.
Yeah. So so Pierce was very full of himself. He was so excited because he had stolen Vane's ship. He'd gotten it and then refitted it for the the British Navy. He'd profited off of their hard work. And then the second it came back from its first trip, Vane took it back and took all of the the merch off of it. But yeah, Woodes Rogers shows up, and like you said, he took the Ranger, lit it on fire, and something really awesome that he did is he took his cannons and he loaded them all up with double shot and left the fuses open. So when he lit it on fire and sent it towards the blockade, as the ship heated up and the flames finally got there, this ship was just shooting off cannonballs as it hit the armada. And then Vane went into the village, stole a couple carpenters, stole a ship from a fellow pirate, stole a bunch of stuff, and then scooted out the backside of Nassau and just dipped.
Yeah, see, he was the great escape artist.
Yeah.
So, and real quick, Iga.
Easy.
Iga gifted a membership. Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Frankie! He wanted to join the crew too. So thank you. Holy crap, you guys. Thank you for your generosity. It's because of people like you. This is what we do. Still have several over on Facebook watching, people over on Rumble and YouTube. Holy crap. Now it's your time to shine, Wicked.
Okay. So now can we talk about Yates?
Yeah.
How you pronounce it? Okay. So what I didn't see exactly what happened for the tensions to happen. Maybe it was just heads butting. Maybe X-Wing knows. But
he stole his ship when he was leaving Nassau. He stole Yeats' ship.
Oh, he stole Yeats' ship. Okay, so when Yeats and him parted ways, Yeats left in the middle of the night when he was asleep because, probably a little bit easier than dealing with Charles Vane. And Vane was really mad about that. How long did he chase him for? He never caught him, but he tried to chase him down.
It wasn't very long.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
But and also something that the chat will probably think is really cool is that he had an unexpected encounter with Blackbeard. And you guys know what he did when they crossed paths? I guess I never heard of this before, but it's really cool that pirates did this, that they would exchange cannon shots as a form of like, hey, it's me. Like, what's up? Like not hitting each other.
Interesting.
And I read that. I thought that was kind of funny. It was signaling their identities. Like, I don't know if there was like, hey, 3 shots. Oh, that's Vane. What's up? 2, it's Blackbeard. I don't know if that's how it worked, but something that.
So while we were while the golden age of piracy was shutting down, there was only a few people left: Blackbeard, Charles Vane, and a few Calico Jack, Anne Bonny, Mary Read. Those were like the end. Like that was like the coming to the end.
Yeah.
Charles Vane, I think they all felt the pressure, and Charles Vane went to visit Blackbeard. Now, early on, when they were kind of like enemies, because Blackbeard was with Benjamin Hornigold, Charles Vane was with his mentor, and they were kind of butting heads. But now it's like, hey, we're all part of this, we're all part of this club, I guess. So he went to Ocracoke Island in South Carolina, North Carolina, and the islands in the Carolina. And I was there. I went there. It's South Carolina. You got to take a 2-hour ferry boat to get there. And they had, which is the only thing record that everybody, whatever it is, that they had the biggest pirate party ever. North Carolina, there it is. So it was on October 17, 18. Captain Vane visited Blackbeard in Ocracoke Island, North Carolina. The 2 pirate crews were said to have had enjoyed a week-long party at which was the largest pirate gathering ever to occur in North American waters. Vane then sailed far off as New York, plundering ships. Basically, what Vane was trying to do was to try to convince Blackbeard to be a part, like for them to like come together and be like, hey man, they're coming in, man. We need everybody with us, man. We need everybody with us. So will you join me? Like, and Blackbeard was like, nah, man, like I'm kind of here. Like I'm going to settle in the Carolinas a little bit. I kind of got this on check. I got the governor in my pocket. I got all this stuff. I'm not really going to, I'm not going to do that. So let's just have a party. So pirates from all around, there was upwards of like 27 ships believed, just filled with pirates, from Jack Rackham, Charles Vane, and Bonnie was allegedly there because she was already around. Blackbeard, all his crew, Black Caesar, his second in command, all that stuff. They were all there, and they spent about 2 weeks just drinking on this little island in Ocracoke. So now if you go up to that island, they redo that party every single year.
What?
On that island. Yeah. So when I went to visit
going.
the island, and I see super chats and gifted, you guys are amazing. And I see my man Epic Mike in the chat. So once a year, so I went to visit that island around in December, right? It's a 2-hour ferry boat ride, which is really beautiful to get over there to that island. And the whole place is like completely shut down until that big party. There is like nothing. There's a couple houses there. People live there. There's a small school that's K through 12, right? Super small. They got one church there that's like a non-denominational church. And then like this little walkway. If you saw the video, it's on my other channel that you could just walk to where Blackbeard was killed and all that stuff. All the restaurants and stuff in town were all closed, and they're like, they don't open again until summer. So it's like a summer town, right? There was one place that was open for the locals. It was a brewery that brewed their own beer, and they just did like hamburger, nacho stuff like that. So I went in there to eat, and they said, if you come back this week in the summer, everybody, they're like, this place is so packed with people dressed as pirates, drinking rum, drinking beer, walking the streets. They're like, it's a 1-week giant pirate party, and that's what keeps the whole island afloat. And people rent out the Airbnb.
Book release.
They rent out the Airbnb, and they go, and it's and they were telling me, they're like, it's a lot of fun. It's not crazy fun. It's a lot of fun. Like the police are, like they keep everything in order, and it's like it's a lot of fun to reenact the story of Blackbeard and Charles Vane meeting and having a giant pirate party.
That sounds awesome.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Makes Gasparilla sound kind of weak.
That should be, right over here in Tampa.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure that one's still great. I'm just saying that sounds way better.
Bring that blunderbuss, man. We'll make it a real party.
And I don't know if this is jumping too far ahead, but I've been waiting to say this story since you brought up how people would see Charles Vane's ship and just be like, oh, I'm out. So they encountered a ship thinking that it was going to be like an easy haul. They raised their black flags. They're like, all right, we got this. But then the ship starts barraging them with cannon fire, and they're like, what? And they raise their own colors, and they realize that it is a French man of war ship. And Vane is like, we should just go. Let's get out of here. Like, we're outnumbered here.
Yeah, that was it. You're right. That's the one. They were like, let's take this. And then Charles Vane, for the first time, showed a moment of weakness. Said, I don't think we could take it. Keep going. You're doing great. And holy crap, 50 gifted. I'll get to you.
Hold on. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Do the 50 gifted. I'll continue my story and keep them in suspense.
Holy cannoli. Risk it for the biscuit.
Whoa. 100 souls.
Holy crap.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
That ain't cheap, man. We might have to promote you to Powder Monkey. I don't know.
Powder Monkey.
You get to carry all the cannonballs.
Sales stitcher.
It'll build up the... you can help the doctor with the amputations. You have to hold down the people.
Congratulations.
Bro, 50 gifted memberships. That's everyone's almost green in my chat. That's incredible. So ugly, I'm illegal. Gifted 1.
Oh, what's my favorite Star Wars creator?
Dear God. GJ.
That is not
GJJ. I almost started laughing. GJJ gifted 5. And Clyde, my dude, he gave another one, giving us a grand total of... We got a lot.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
There's a lot of souls on this ship. I think we'll do just fine. And this is for you, Sea Hag Queen. Greg the Goblin for 10.
Thank you. Thought you wanted me to read it.
Ah, you may.
Oh man, I'm really late. Forgive me, my queen. You are forgiven. You got to watch the playback though. You missed a lot of good stuff.
You got the pardon.
You got the pardon.
She's very merciful.
She looks mad. Maybe I shouldn't have made that decision.
If not, you'd have to clean out the toilet.
Well,
So,
he
yeah.
gave 10. He paid his dues, so. Oh.
You're right, man. I mean, big old ship. He decided to run, and as soon as they got to
Yeah, let's
safety,
get back to the story.
Okay.
They put a sword to his neck.
The situation split the crew because Vane could see the might from the ship and was just like, we're not gonna, in his mind anyways, and half of the crew agreed with him, but John Rackham was like, no, you're being soft. Basically, he's like, no, we can take this, we can board and take it over. And so the crew got really upset. They thought that it was cowardice of Vane to decide to run. So this decision that Vane made had some very, very big consequences for him. And the following day, his crew was just very mad. They were I think most of the crew, it wasn't completely split. I'm pretty sure most of the crew, at least from what I read, was mostly on Rackham's side. Like, we're pirates, we don't retreat. Like, this is Vane's crew. Everyone's supposed to be scared of us. So they thought he was a coward. They held a vote and they kicked Vane from the crew. He was no longer a captain. It was branded a coward, and Rackham became the captain.
What's crazy is Calico Jack Rackham, which some believe is
Worst
some of
pirate in
the
history.
where they got Jack Sparrow. They modeled him after him a little bit.
Mhm.
He wasn't really a good pirate.
No.
He's the one that Anne said the line to, right?
Yeah, he's like, if you had fought like a man, you wouldn't be here dying like a dog.
Hanged like a dog, yeah.
So Calico Jack, that was the very first video on this channel, and I was so excited. I made Calico Jack to be like this really awesome pirate in that video, I remember. But the more I read about him, he literally just went after like small fishing vessels.
Yeah.
Basically, boats without guns. He's like, let's see what we got here.
Oh, herring. I love herring.
Yeah, it's like, I see no guns. Show your colors. Let's get them.
You know what I have to wonder, though? So, I mean, this is right after he has, from Vane's perspective, this is right after he has the big party with
that's what I'm saying, man.
Blackbeard.
Like, here's Charles Vane.
But wait, this is the question. He just has this big party with Blackbeard. Blackbeard says, I'm out, right? Like, I think I'm done. I'm good. Vane is now basically the last one out there with a big name.
Yeah.
And there's a really good line in the Pirates of the Caribbean, and I think it was the short guy with the powdered wig. I can't remember his name. He said, the world is shrinking, right? The world is shrinking. And I have to wonder if Vane kind of felt that way. It was like, we can't take these big risks anymore. The world is shrinking. If I do this now and we lose, that's it. It's over. I'm done. I can't do anything. And so he decided not to take the risk where he might have, 4 years ago.
That's an excellent point. But here is Charles Vane. You have made your crew wealthy, and they probably spend it all every time they stopped.
Oh yeah.
You didn't you've won hundreds of battles. You've successfully snuck out of ports that tried to get you. You successfully avoided the noose with your wit and cunning. You have a reputation that you are brutal. Anyone that crosses you is like, you're finished. You're done. I don't want to, we're going to cut you up in pieces, leave you to die in some of the worst ways, like all this stuff. And then when he's like, I don't think we should go after that ship, of all people, Calico Jack is like, yeah, he don't need to be the captain. He's weak. Let's vote him out. They voted him out, him and maybe 4 other guys. And they put him in a little busted up sloop and
2 guns.
Yeah.
15 guys and 2 guns on that ship.
Be gone with you. And holy
also those who supported him too. Sorry, those were sent with him.
What?
I want to put that in.
Doug B.
with
a
$50
Rumble donation.
Rumble rant.
Says, I made it. Holy crap. And he also has become a monthly subscriber over on Rumble.
Oh, dang.
Look at that guy. Holy crap.
Beautiful.
That's enough to get some clean water, maybe some fruit.
There you go. Some oranges.
Need some oranges. Yeah, I say X-Wing needs some oranges.
For scurvy.
He's-
Our
yeah.
Commodore forgot to
Oranges
eat
right
his
now.
limes and oranges, and he's got scurvy on his butt.
Yep.
That's why he's sick. Pretty
On his
gross.
butt.
It's like a big itchy rash.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Thank you.
The stuffed nose. That's all that's going on here.
It's like I got a stuffy nose cough down there.
Doug says, I hate giving to YouTube. Well, I appreciate you giving on Rumble. Holy crap, Doug. Thank you
Love
for
to see it.
supporting this channel. I would love this to be my full-time channel, but
Working on it.
you guys are almost there, man. Thank you so much. Holy crap. I'm blown away by the love. Thank you, Doug B. And I see you guys over on Facebook just hanging out, putting the Jolly Roger, the pirate flags and stuff in the chat. I see you guys. It's weird seeing your real names, not your YouTube names. So that's why I'm not highlighting. I can highlight Facebook, but I'm choosing not to because I don't know. I don't know if you want that out there. Just my thing. And the real Steven TV for two says, ahoy, Jay, lovely wicked, and the other guy.
Hi.
What do I need to do to be loved?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've tried.
So Charles Vane, who's had he's a pirate, like he's had a career, everything that you've ever wanted. If you were a pirate to do, get wealthy, have parties, you hung out with the famous people, you won almost every single battle, you get kicked off your own ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken over by a guy who just likes to pirate little fishing vessels and anything without a gun, right? Who just likes to drink and hang out. And he's sailing on this little sloop, and he decides, we're gonna go left, and he runs right into a hurricane near Honduras.
Whoops.
And it just breaks up his ship, and him and the four or five, maybe who knows how many people were with him. So his luck
He had another
gone.
sloop too. He had a partner sloop that he was separated from.
Yes.
Sorry, just want to throw that.
Yeah,
in.
after he got booted off with his little crappy 2-gun boat and his 15 guys, he stole 4 other ships. So
Yes.
he had a little floating armada.
Yeah, he was building himself back up, probably to go after Jack Rackham and those boys. So yeah, that's what it was. He was building himself back up. He pirated a little bit more, got a few more ships, and then a hurricane hit and killed a lot of his men, destroyed all of his ships, and he was technically marooned by the weather on a small little uninhabited island.
He was thought to be the only one to survive out of that entire armada.
The only reason he didn't die on that island was because small fishing ships would come there for turtles and other supplies, not supplies, but other things that were on that island. That's the only And
that's wild, man. Like
that is kind of crazy to think about. Like out of everybody, he survived. He made it to the island, and then he lived
in the jungle. And
In
he
the
wouldn't.
jungle.
So the turtle hunters would come and they'd give him like little provisions and stuff, but he would never go to their camps. He preferred to live in the jungle by himself, and so he never stayed with the little turtle hunters.
It's freaking crazy, man.
Just living in the jungle.
So
Then
then he's like, sails, I'm gonna get rescued. So he's watching this ship come closer, and he's like, hey, get me off this island. Thanks for hey. The guy pulls out his little scope, takes a look-see, and goes, I recognize that person, Captain. Who is it? That'd be Charles Vane. He tried to take over your ship.
Holford.
Like a year ago. Yeah,
imagine, dude. You're on an island for like 9 months and one ship shows up and you're like,
yeah,
Holford?
Finally.
Seriously? Out of anybody that could show up? Ugh.
And the guys, so Captain Holford's like, pretend you don't see him. Just sail along. Hey, right here, rescue me. Just keep going. He's not there, everybody. Just keep going. And Lulu Blue just super chatted over on Facebook. She sent 1,000 stars. I don't even know what that is. I don't know how much that is, but holy crap, Lulu Blue.
Lulu.
With the super chat on Facebook. Man, we're getting super chats on YouTube. Doug is taking care of Rumble. Lulu's taking care of Facebook.
I'm gonna sneeze.
We got our own pirate party right here. Anyway.
Dang it.
And Commodore's almost died, like right in front of him. Yeah, there's Lulu. Look at that. You guys are just amazing. What are stars for? They're Facebook's version of super chats. That's what they are. So
yeah, so Holford sees him and talks to him and basically says, I've known you for a long time. I'm going to let you go. If I see you when I come back to this island, I'm going to take you back to Jamaica and I'm going to hang you.
Pretty much.
So Vane's like,
yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm stuck with the turtle hunters.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. And another ship, after he leaves, another ship comes across the horizon. And Vane goes, this is my chance to get out. And so he fakes his name. He gets on the ship. He's like, I'm out of here. We're good. We're going to start the whole thing back up again. And before the ship leaves port, guess who shows back up? Holford.
Yeah.
And guess who Holford's friends with? The captain of the ship he was trying to leave on. And so the two captains have dinner together. And he says, yeah, there's this castaway on the island who's apparently a very steadfast sailor. And Holford goes, oh, a castaway, huh? Why don't you let me see who it is? And of course, it's Charles Vane.
And they lock him in irons.
Yep. Took him to Jamaica in chains.
And Holford takes him to stand trial in
March
Port
22nd,
Royal.
1721.
And after a year in prison, after being found guilty of piracy, Vane was hanged in March 1721.
March 29th. I don't know if that's exact, but that's what I read. So I'm going to go with it.
Could you imagine being Captain Pierce, though, and showing up at that trial after being embarrassed, like, as much as you were by
or
that
even
guy?
Woods Rogers, like all of them.
They probably were there. And for a display as a warning to anyone that might want to be a pirate, they kept him hanging.
In, what do they call those things? A buckle? Cage?
I don't know. He was hung in chains at Gun K. Yeah, the cage. What is the cage? Yeah, I don't know what the cage is called. A cage.
Cages. But yeah, they hung him until dead, and then they stuck him in one of those cages in, I think, Port Royal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they just let his body rot. Let the bird pick off with a sign saying, pirates here. Yeah, this is your future.
And then eventually, after so many years, there was nothing but bleached bones left sitting in a cage.
I wonder if anybody, how some people have weird collecting things they like to do. If anyone has like Charles Vane's bones or something, like remember how Michael Jackson wanted the Elephant Man's bones? I don't know. Side little digressing there, but I just wonder because there's history buffs that you know what I mean.
Yeah, I was just
probably does.
I was
want to admit it.
In Florence, and they had St. John the Baptist's like arm bone and jaw bone in these like reliquaries.
I don't know what's going on Facebook, but Lulu started a stars party.
Star party.
So they're throwing. Lulu sent another 200 stars. Laura Lynn Lance sent 99 stars. Lulu threw 500 stars on top of that. So everyone's like throwing stars over here. This is wild. So thanks for the stars party. And I'm like seeing it on like the Facebook thing pops up and it's like Lulu has started a star party. So there you go. I don't even know how to send. I'm trying to send stars myself. What am I doing?
Sounds like some Mario 64.
That's wild.
Star party.
Oh, so I can like that. There we go.
Give Jay a second here. He's getting excited over Facebook again.
I am. It's freaking cool. It's new. It's a new toy. So it's like, and everybody over there is just like, it's awesome.
Well, the real stars are the chat.
Yes. The chat is always beautiful. The MVP. They always will be the MVP. And speaking of
Raider, I can't yell.
Raider, you gotta chill, man. You gave me like $100 last night. What the heck? And a 59.21. He's paying the pirate tax on that. Holy crap! I don't know what to play.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
There's some people in my life, Doug, Lulu, Raider, Greg, like so many that just like risk it. All you guys, man. Stormbringer's not here. GJJ, Clyde, all you guys, just Celluloid Dream. You guys are just constantly supporting. My man Ron Cook's always here. Chewbacca, man, it's just incredible. Steiner Math, Mountain Mutt, Spirian, all you guys. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but man, you guys just always
just
supporting.
Don't worry about it, though.
Lady Marine, Laura Lynn Lance is always here. It's incredible. And Rune Fang, did I say that right?
Yeah, Rune Fang.
My Gadsden welcome to the Rebellion hat was stolen at Carowinds, home of the pirate Snoopy, while riding Afterburn.
No.
I choose to purchase the pirate welcome to the Rebellion hat to replace it. Park Hoppit. Man, somebody liked your flag that much that they stole that, liked your hat that much that they stole it.
That's terrible, but awesome too.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Well, I hope you like the pirate one. And you know, us pirates stick together. I hope no one steals it. Holy crap, dude. I'm so sorry, man. That sucks. I know people have been asking me to take Park Hopping to Carowinds. I hope soon.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Carowinds? Carowinds is the theme park in North Carolina. It's kind of like Six Flags, a little bit better, I hear. So,
okay.
Yeah. Or South Carolina, excuse me. Ron Cook says we need more pirates.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Lulu's starting another star party? What the heck?
I feel like it's a Mario Party thing. A star party.
I don't know how to do this.
It's 80 degrees here, Jay. I'm sweating like a mug.
Oh, it's like 97 here in Florida.
Yeah.
That AC
I'm chilling.
That AC bill is going to be kicking in the summertime for you when you get
AC
here.
tech, man. I'll get that thing running perfect.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You'll be fine. But then, dude, at night when the sun goes down and the humidity
gets chilly,
sit out by your fire pit, have a little stogie.
I walk around in the snow in my underwear.
I'm trying to like help you.
So I don't know. All I can picture is Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
Do I give stars? I don't know how to give
that's
stars.
X-Wing.
It's pretty much
He's
that.
Eddie.
Yeah.
He's Eddie.
Yeah.
And Raider says, "Shut up! I'll do what I want. Here's 10 more members."
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Raider, you
I
gotta
got
chill. I'm gonna
one.
start streaming again, so you gotta chill.
Thanks, Raider. I got one.
Can we say a prayer for our long lost?
Oh, should I take mine off? My hair's all flat from this.
King's Advisors has left the crew.
We miss you. He was a good crewmate.
Lost his ability to spell for some reason.
Awful young.
X-Wing is gonna lose.
He's gonna lose. He's lost to sea. He forgot how to spell.
We're singing. He's like,
he was so young.
I know. He was our Steed Bonnet, having a midlife crisis.
Total Steed Bonnet.
Having a midlife crisis.
I don't want to be a lawyer.
Exactly. He's the rich lawyer.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's going.
Over on Facebook, Lulu says, "Wicked, your hair is good."
Thanks. It's a little flat with the hat off, but you know.
And what the heck is happening? Doug B with another 50 on Rumble.
Dang, Doug.
Holy crap.
Who there called my name?
That's the wrong button there. Hey.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
It's like, is that one of the Pirate Cast ones? I don't remember that one being
I
in
wasn't
there.
ready for that.
That was really messed that up. Come on,
what
man.
more do you want from me?
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug B. Holy crap. That's $100 donation.
Y'all are so generous, dude. Honestly, it's insane for me to watch.
I know, it's like I can't keep up. We got Facebook stars, we got Rumble rants, and we got super chats and gifted memberships all around. I'm gonna have to give out all kinds of free stuff. Man, you guys, let me tell you something. You guys are gonna be in for such a treat. After you buy Achromatic Chronicles Green, you guys are gonna be in we want to get all right. We're gonna get Mike on the next one, but he's got to do his homework. He just can't show up and be like, "Yeah, I like pirates."
I think they're saying that
Is that what Mike sounds like?
the nutty professor was Mike.
Oh.
That's what they're saying.
The reason why I am personally behind on making videos on my channels is because we are working. We're getting this pirate book finished. We're getting logos done. We're getting merch done. We're getting like different types of copyrighted books together.
Work is so different on this project.
We are like when we launch this thing, maybe December, maybe January 2025. We want you to see that we cared so much that you're gonna see pirate coins. This is the pirate channel, so we could talk about it. We see pirate coins, swords, extra books, diaries of our main character, the graphic novel, the artist. Everything is just like it's coming to place so well, and I don't know, man. Like I this is gonna be such a massive. It's been a massive project. Also in the middle, we're working on green. For me, a lot of green is finished. Achromatic Chronicles Green. Eric, my artist, is, he's getting it almost finished, but we could still launch and begin selling it. So once he's done, we ship it out. And, that should be, I'm waiting on a text message, and then I'll know it'll be like 2 weeks, 1 week, but it's definitely either the end of this month, like I've been saying, or early June. We're just making sure that everything is ready to go. I don't want to rush anybody. That's all. Don't want to rush anybody. So, but because of y'all's support, we are putting together like some of the best stuff that you guys have ever seen with Achromatic Chronicles Green and the Daughter's Revenge book. Like we are really, I don't know what else to say. It's like I don't even have time to make videos. It's like I'll do Geeks and Gamers Daily, and then it's like I'm on the phone with X-Wing and others. Like, this book here, we got to do this. I got to talk to this lawyer. I got to do this. We got to put this together. What about that? What about all this and here? Let's go. What do you know? So, but this is the cool thing. If you didn't see this already,
Daughters is just the start of something.
Yeah,
really special. So it's really special by itself, but I think this is really the start of something really special. That's why I'm so excited for it.
Did Lulu put the yeah. So the website daughtersrevenge.com is finally up, and this is what you see. So that's on daughtersrevenge.com. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. A lot of things like you could probably take from that. Yes, that's a crown of thorns. So yes, that's Latin. So we'll let you guys come up with your own ideas until we start teasing a little thing. And on this channel, on the History of Pirates channel, you're going to start to get little videos of like little background stories of the characters, of the ships, things like that. So it will, you'll start to understand a little bit more of the story without giving away too much.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be an amazing project to this year.
And it's just the beginning.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. Whew. I'm just tired of thinking about it, like all that I did today. See, we already got questions. Lulu says, I wonder if I could post links here. You could try. How many blades will be made? We'll let you know. More people are excited about the blades than the book.
I know. I should have just.
You should have just opened a blade company.
Yeah.
Dirty Jersey for 5. Concentrate on your books. Videos come and go, but literature is timeless. Can't wait to see what y'all have done for Vindicta. Yeah. I hope you guys love it, man. It has been quite the journey to get this first one done. So, I want the book. There you go. But first buy Green. I'm gonna start hyping Green up anyway, but it's like both these projects are just coming together nicely. So there you go. Well, that's it, man. Charles Vane. Was he your favorite pirate?
He's, to me, in my mind, he is absolutely the WTTR rebellion. He's the, I don't want to equate too much to real life, but, he was a Jacobite. He was a rebel. He stood against the liberal government coming in and stepping into his personal ability to live the way he wanted to. I love Charles Vane. He was the, I don't know if I'd call him an anarchist. He was a rebel.
How accurate is Vane in the story? Black? Not at all.
Yeah,
no. I think they take little bits and dramatize it, though. But I wouldn't know.
Shout out to X-Wing. He's awesome.
I got love on a podcast. Somebody loves me.
There you go.
It's only been a year, 2 years.
There you go. It. Yeah. The crazy thing is not the crazy thing, but all these cool pirate stories that we tell that would make great movies, none of them end well for the pirate. None of them. Just so you know.
Live by the sword, die by the sword, man.
That's how it is. Any last words? Sea Hag Queen?
No. I have nothing else to say. Buy Daughter's Revenge when it comes out.
Love it.
And Green.
Charles
Sorry. I don't know. He said, Charles Vane. I don't know. He was cool. I still can't believe he was only active for 4 years.
Well, Doug B gave another $20.
Thanks,
actually,
Doug.
another 4. What the freak? 20 for X-Wing and 20 for Wicked.
Thanks. Doug
Let's
B.
go.
Someone needs to yell his name. He's yelling our names. Doug B. Can't yell too loud.
He must be the real pirate because somehow he's robbed a 7-Eleven. I don't know.
Doug B and Steven TV are now my favorite people in this chat. Hardcore.
They are good people. Well, that's all. That's it from all of us here at History of Pirates. This is X-Wing. Go check him out. Wicked Virtue. Lulu's been dropping links to them in the chat. Thank you for joining us over on Facebook. Thank you for joining us over on Rumble. And thank you for joining us here on YouTube. That's all I got.
I'll be back.
With what?
Herpes.
There you have it.
Thank you for being a first mate and listening to the Patches and Rum podcast. Now get back to your station or I'll send you to Davy Jones' locker.